Hi guys, it's another exciting day today. We have an amazing female tech founder in the house or in the studio today. She has won the Africa Choice Awards Young Female Entrepreneur of the Year 2021. She has also won the Influential Businesswoman Awards. And also, our startup was also selected amongst the few that got the Google for Startup Black Founders Fund in Africa. This is somebody who is literally defying the odds as a Black female founder in tech. It's nice to have you here, Kemi. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Nice. I mean, it's very hard to get a hold of you these days. What have you been up to for the past few weeks?
Well, it's been an eventful past few weeks for me personally, and of course the business as well. As we all know, Nigeria is Nigerian
Yeah,
at the moment,
really?
so we're
Yeah.
just I feel like every day with all of the changes that we see in, the economy, every founder is just trying to take each day at a time and just see how to navigate all the odds.
Yeah. Nice. So, Kemi, we would like to learn a bit more about your background, what you do and your background, right? And how it's shaped to what you do today.
Okay, so I finished from the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, with a
Nice.
Bachelor of Physiotherapy degree. Um, yeah, during my time, after uni, I had okay, we must do like this 1 year compulsory internship
Mm.
after uni. So I did it in the hospital. I also had the opportunity to work in quite a number of hospitals after school. And during my time working, I worked a lot in what they call like the women's physiotherapy unit. And so in the women's physiotherapy unit, what we would do is that we would welcome like moms who are expecting, and we would do like exercises, pelvic floor exercises for them, birthing ball exercises, and just things like that to help them navigate their pregnancy and delivery journey better. And it was at that point that I started to I'll use the word fall in love with maternal and child health.
Nice. So, so can you tell us a bit more about Babymigo? You're in a startup called Babymigo, yes?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Babymigo. And what we do at Babymigo is that we leverage technology to
Mm.
provide culturally relevant and expert-led tools, resources, and hyperlocal support services for expecting moms and parents with children between the ages of 0 and 6 years.
Nice, nice. So, and how long have you been running Babymigo?
We started to conceptualize an idea in 2018, but I'll say that we officially kicked off operations in 2020.
Nice, nice. And how was like the formative years for you, starting at Babymigo? What hurdles did you have to, fly over, overcome?
I mean, so many others that you have to overcome. One, I think first, understanding the markets.
Mm.
I think that when it comes to tech, Nigeria is not, Africa is not there yet as much as a developed, country when it comes to how the market would embrace tech-driven solutions. And so we had to embrace that hurdle. Initially, mothers that are like they're already used to doing things in a certain way. They're
Yeah.
used to receiving advice from their moms and their mom-in-laws, and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
we had to, I think the first thing is even just really understanding the market and evolving with the market, because the market has definitely evolved, especially since COVID happened. So that has been that was a major hurdle for us. And I feel like, we're still in that process. Like we would always need to understand our market and evolve our products and services to fit their needs and what the market is at. Another challenge would also be definitely talent, hiring and retaining talent,
Yeah.
especially because the work that we do, it's I'll say it's a bit of a sensitive one. It's maternal health. So we are also very intentional and particular about having members of the team on board that are somewhat passionate about
Yeah.
maternal health, because we're dealing with pregnant women, you want them to have their babies. You're helping them through such a delicate phase
Yeah.
and time. It's important that people that are working with us are, I won't say equally passionate, because that may not be possible, but a little bit passionate about the work that we do, and they understand the importance of maternal and child health.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. So, I mean, just looking back at what you and the team at Babymigo have been doing, right? You guys have been featured on Quartz, Business Insider, Future Health Index. How does it make you feel to get recognized for the work you do?
I'd say it's great to be recognized for the work that we do. I think for every entrepreneur, each day is very different and unique. And there are some days when you actually need that encouragement to make you feel like you're doing the right thing and you're going in the right direction. But I'd say for me, and I always tell the team, the work has really just started. There's still so much work to do, and we haven't even scratched the surface. And so we're very thankful and we're very grateful for all the platforms that continue to feature us and tell our story. But we also know that the work has only just begun, and we don't get carried away in any way.
Nice one. So I'm just trying to understand, what you guys do differently, right? And what's a day-to-day like at Babymigo? What do you do on a daily basis to make sure that you reach your vision as a brand or as a business?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting question. Well, my day to day, one, I definitely need to. Well, I do a lot more of strategy
Okay.
and coordinating execution. So we have our platform www.babymigo.com, where we put out resources on a daily basis, and we have a team responsible for that. So sometimes I need to check with the team, know what is going up on that in that regard. Sometimes we also need to check with the tech team to know, to if you change here and there, things like that. And then we also have our products and our services. We have Pre-Class, we have Mom Circle, we have Mama Care. Pre-Class and Mom Circle are subscription-based communities. So if you want to access our free resources and be a member of our free community, you can do that. You can go on our platform, sign up, and then you access our resources. But if you want, of course, further personalization, you need to pay to be part of our paid communities, which is Pre-Class. Pre-Class is for the expecting mom, and Mom Circle for moms with children between the ages of 0 and 1. And so I will check in because we have our community manager, we have our pediatricians, gynecologists, midwives. I'll check in with them to know how that is going. What you say?
That's a lot, actually. A lot of people.
Yes, we have these experts because we're actually very intentional about, because like I said, the work that we do is not just like we're running the startup. It's very sensitive. If you've had a mom that has had 3 miscarriages before and is pregnant for the 4th time and is coming to Babymigo, maybe they want to be a part of our Pre-Class or our antenatal program, it's very delicate. Because such mom, is afraid of losing her baby again. We've had cases where we've had to navigate moms through different cases of threatened abortion, where an abortion almost happened and we had to help them. So it's very sensitive. So we're very intentional about the experts that we have on board. For our other program, like the one for moms with babies, there are a lot of rules and guidelines when you're managing babies between 0 to 1. So, for example, you don't give cough syrup to a baby that is less than 1. They cannot eat take honey. Just so many things. So we make sure that our pediatricians are they are licensed pediatricians and that we're giving the right information. So I would need to check in with the community manager, our experts. We're also very intentional in being at the forefront of maternal and child health. And so we have different, we have different initiatives and programs that we do for our experts to increase their knowledge and what they're doing to ensure that we are really at the forefront in that regard. So we check with that. Of course, I have to check with my sales team, my sales and marketing team to know what is going on in that regard. What are the numbers looking like? What new marketing initiatives are we launching for the month? Is there anything that requires my attention? I think that's a summary, somewhat of what I do on a daily. Of course, I'll check with my assistant, my PA to know, what is the calendar looking like? Am I missing anything and all of that?
Feels like a very large team and a lot of responsibilities. What's your staff strength? Can you give me like a range for your staff strength?
Okay, we have about 10 to 12 full-time staff, but of course we have a lot of people that we also work with on a part-time basis.
Oh, nice. So let's get right into the business of this podcast, right? So our topic today is define social expectations as a founder. So before I even go into that, I'd like to even know how you are able to handle being a businesswoman and still being a mom and still killing it.
Well, it's a lot of work. I'll definitely say help. Because like we always say in our community, there's no award for being a superwoman. So we don't encourage, I'm not a superwoman, and we don't encourage our moms to also take on the superwoman complex. So I get a lot of help when necessary. I'm also thankful to my husband, who is very supportive and very helpful. I also have my family, my mom, who is also equally helpful, especially hands-on with my baby and all of that. So I think getting help is very important. I think the second thing for me, especially in regards to the business, is that I try to keep my focus on the things that really matter. Just yesterday at our meeting, I was just telling a member of our team and just the team in general about the importance of understanding what is urgent, what is important, and what is nice to have. And so for me, I try to do that. I know what is urgent, what is important, and what is nice to have. And I keep my eyes on the important and urgent things, particularly the important things. So of course, I need to look at the numbers. I need to look at our social impact. There's just some key things that I know that every day, these are like the things I'm focusing on. I don't like to focus on things that are not necessarily, So I think those are the key things out here.
Nice. All right. So great one. Thank you for that, Kemi. So I would like to know, as a woman entering into tech or even starting out a business, what are some social expectations from you as a female entering into the space sort of filled with men in that kind of sense?
Well, personally, I think I've said this before in an interview. I'm very particular about not dwelling too much on what social expectations are for me. Because I try to spend more of my time on actually running a successful business. Because I just feel like if you're running a successful business, regardless of what the society expects, at the end of the day, we're all running a startup, for it to be successful. And if we're actually doing that, regardless of if you're going somewhere, the different routes that you can choose. Like if someone is coming from, say, Ikoyi to Lekki, like you're gonna take a different route. You might take like the regular VI. You can come in through VI. You can come in through the Ikoyi Link Bridge. If you're coming from Ajah, like it's a different route. But at the end of the day, the important thing is that everyone is getting to the Lekki,
destination,
right? So exactly. So for me, I won't exactly say that I focus too much on the social expectations. However, I'm aware that it's a bit challenging for women to be in a male-dominated industry. But I think my encouragement to a lot of to women that are listening would be that focus on really running a successful business. Focus on running a business where you are looking at the things that matter. Network. Regardless, don't constantly put that, oh, they're doing this because I'm a woman. They're doing this because I'm a woman. Like focus on networking, on doing the right things to scale your business. And you may get a lot of no's. In fact, you may get a lot of no's than the regular man, the regular tech founder who is a man, sorry. But just really focus on those that are going to say yes. And I think you would definitely be very okay.
Yeah, just that 1 year can cater for all the years of no and all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice one. That's quite, deep. So you said you went to the College of Medicine, or medical school for years, right? But then you didn't talk about where you got to learn about running a business and running it successfully too.
Well, I'd say that running a business, I can't exactly say that I went to like a school to learn how to run a business. I think that running a business has always been like running a business and just leadership has always been an innate. It's just something that comes very natural to me. I feel like running a business is like having a baby, where you kind of nurture this baby, so you see the baby, looking. So that's how I look at it. I also come from my mom, in particular. Also, I grew up seeing her run a business. She was running a business literally from when I was a baby, maybe 1 year, or even before she had me. She was running a business. So I grew up, going to her shop, staying in her shop. So it's something that I would say kind of comes natural to me. Of course, over the years, I've had to take, courses, executive courses and the likes to a lot of, I've had to be part of a lot of accelerators, yes, upskill to, but I would say that ultimately it's just been something that it comes, I'd say, natural to me.
Nice. All right. So that's also very, very good. So, I mean, I've been mentioning so many awards you guys have gotten. I've been mentioning so many notable achievements you've also done, right? And I've not said one thing, right? Though you're also amongst the only 5 Africans to speak at the Global Women in Tech Festival, with over 20,000 attendees across the world, right? How does that really, really make you feel? I know you've been saying, yeah, it's just there, but I want to know how that made you feel. And were you nervous? Were you? How did that make you feel?
Well, I wouldn't exactly. I wasn't nervous, honestly. So one thing is that I've received a lot of compliments in this regard. Anything that comes to maternal and childcare, I'm honestly very passionate about it. And so anytime I have the opportunity to speak with a group of women about how to, take maternal and childcare, especially in Africa, I always say that every time I can preach the good news of maternal and child care and child health, to a group of people, I'm always very, very excited. I know firsthand what it means to be a mom and the challenges that moms encounter. We've also seen, honestly, because when people come on Twitter and on LinkedIn, and it looks like people are overplaying what it means to go through pregnancy. This was pregnancy. Honestly, you don't want to. It's a tough one. I think it is definitely, even with running a startup, pregnancy, childbirth, postpartum, motherhood is one of the toughest things that anyone is going to do on the face of the earth. And it's the honest truth. It's an unbiased truth. It's not even about, and this is, it's a very tough one. It's a very tough one. And so I see our moms, I see what the challenges they go through, and I'm just happy to speak anywhere about how we can get support for women, how we can leverage technology to make the lives of women and children better in Africa.
Nice. I can totally hear the passion in how you're saying it. Like, yeah, that's yeah. So I've come across several ladies and women who sort of want to also do something really good for themselves, but it's just that maybe it's mindset. Some of them think they don't have that talent, or even a passion. I don't know, right? So I mean, how would you probably talk to a young lady out there who's sort of trying to figure out her life and figure out what should she invest her time and effort into, maybe even finding a talent, even how can she even find her own talent?
Well, the subject of passion and talent and the likes, I think, is often put in a complex box. I always preach, and I'm an advocate of whatsoever your hand finds to do. So I think the challenge is that a lot of young professionals, people that are just leaving uni, they're in this bubble of, I want to find what I'm passionate about. I'm not from that school of thought. I'm from the school of thought that whatever it is that your hand finds to do it. And it's while you are doing that thing that you start to find like the areas that you want to move into and things like that. So if you're a young professional, a young lady, you just finished uni, maybe you get a job in a multinational or even in a startup or in a small business, be excellent at it. While you are doing it, you start realizing, maybe I have a thing about operations. Maybe I can, become the CEO of a company and the co-founder at some point. Maybe I'm very good with HR. Maybe I can become a people person. Maybe I'm very good with, I can say this very confidently that while I was working, there was no one that I worked with that wouldn't say that I didn't put in my best while I was working. I gave it my 100. In fact, I remember the last place of work that I worked before I moved full-time into business. People thought I was the manager because at night I'm sending emails. If any project if you say that this project, I'm supposed to monitor this project, I'm going to find how to get it done. I'm going to be on the neck of stakeholders to get it done. So I am an advocate of doing whatever it is you're supposed to do well, as opposed to worrying so much about what your talent is and passion and all that kind of stuff. I think it comes as you begin to do.
Yeah, nice one actually. And this funny story is this also happened to me when I was working my own 9 to 5. I was sitting down beside the marketing executive, sitting down beside the social media manager, even close to the CEO, right? I was in CS, I was understanding a little bit of marketing, understanding a little bit of finances. I didn't know that that would actually help me in building my own business. I was just doing it because I just loved learning. I was quite inquisitive, right? So nice word, and thank you for that school of thought. I think I actually align with that school of thought. Now, so moving on to the next phase, right? So there was this discourse on Twitter, now called X, when where a Gen Z asked a successful founder, how they had built a successful business and still kept that whole work-life balance. And a lot of people said that, oh, it's mutually exclusive. If you want to have a successful business, you cannot have work-life balance. I want to know your thoughts on that.
I would
That's
say
a tough
that
one.
it's in phases. Running
Yeah.
a business startup comes in phases, and each phase would require some level of attention than the other. And that's also my school of thought when it comes to motherhood. I'm supposed to say, oh, can you have it all? You can have it all, but not at the same time. Same thing with running a business. When you're just starting to when you're just starting out and you're just starting out with your startup, it's going to require a lot of attention. At that point, you may need to work for 12 hours in a day, really, for you to get things together. But you're definitely going to have a phase where maybe you are having like a lot of, you're seeing a lot of progress. You can just work maybe 8 hours a day. And then you enter into another phase where maybe you want to launch new services, launch new initiatives, it's taking a lot of your time. So I feel like it's a phase by phase thing, and just being conscious and self-aware that I'm in the phase where I need to literally be hands-on. I need to give this all of my attention, or I'm in the phase where I actually need to rest more. I need to watch a movie and all that kind of stuff. Let me also mention that personally, I mean, for me, and I say for a lot of people, I would say that having a work-life balance, or rather having periods either in a week or in a day or a schedule that allows you to rest and relax, depending on what relax and rest is for you, is crucial to actually running a successful business. If you're every day, Monday to Friday for a year, or Monday to Saturday, you are working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you're going to burn out. You're not going to be at your best. In fact, I found that my biggest ideas and my biggest breakthroughs have come when I would take a break from work. I would just like do something, maybe spend time with my family, watch a movie, whatever. And I would come back to that thing. And what I sat down with for 4 hours and I didn't have any direction on what I wanted, how it would go, I would come back after relaxing and I would know what to do immediately, right? Because so I feel like definitely having a balanced life is important, but it may just not be at the same time or all the time.
Nice. I can totally relate to this too. Because I remember one time, I think earlier in the year, I actually fell sick after working like for weeks and months, right? And then I fell sick. And then I got clarity on a lot of things I was sort of thinking about. So imagine when I was in the heat of the moment, I was in front of the battle, and I wasn't getting ideas. But then when I laid back and just slept up, and during the whole when I was not sick, when I was sick period, right, I got lots of ideas. So I actually also align with you on that school of thoughts of taking breaks and taking rest when need be. Nice one, and thank you very much for that, Kemi. So we are coming towards the end of the show, and I'd just like to know, right, if was it something you wanted to do from when you were small, or maybe maybe as you grew older, your ambitions changed?
I think the one thing that I always wanted to do when I was young was to build something. I wasn't exactly sure what, but I've always been an ambitious person, and I just knew that I wanted to build something. So, but it was while I finished from uni, I was working, and then I started to gain clarity. But I knew for sure that I was going to build something. I'm definitely what I would say, well, a builder. I like to put my something and see how it's going to turn out and things like that. So.
And do you think this will be the last stop for you for your startup, or you think you might also delve or metamorphose to something else later in life?
Oh, life is about evolving. you must evolve. Definitely
Yeah.
not the last. Absolutely, definitely not the last stop. So much to do. Africa is, I mean, there's just so much, there's just so much to do in Africa. A lot of untapped potentials, a lot of problems to solve. I know definitely that this is not the last stop.
Nice one. Thank you very much. All right. So we are coming to the end, right? And if there were just like a few key points you want anybody, both male or female, to take away from this session, what would these be?
I'll take focus on the important things in your startup. I see a lot of startups and a lot of friends, and we've had these discussions where a lot of startup founders are focusing on what is not really the key thing. Like you need to focus on the key metrics in your startup. So I'll definitely say that. And then for young people and especially for women that are trying to either start a business or have their own startup, I'll say that, forget about the noise and just really focus on building something that is successful. Yeah, and when you, if you look at a billionaire or a millionaire, and you want to buy, like, you're not going to be saying, are you a female millionaire, a female, like,
Yeah.
done. So I think you should focus on getting the job done. Yes, I think that those are my 2 key points.
Yeah. So you said we should focus on the key metrics. So I think that might vary for different people, right? So in your own situation, what would you describe as key metrics for anybody to focus on?
Well, for us, definitely the numbers, and some of the numbers are financial, our numbers in terms of finances, our numbers in terms of social impact. And by social impact, because, for example, how many number of successful births are we having? How many number of deliveries are we having? If we have to look at it and say, on a scale of 1 to 100, how much do we prepare them for childbirth? What challenges do they face in terms of child health? So those are like some key indices that we look at. Yeah.
All right, then. So this is the end of the show. But is there any like exclusive gist that you not told anybody, like to tell our audience? Yeah, I would love to know.
Well, I think the only
And
one I come
it could
to.
be a product launch, it could be something personal, it could be maybe an event you're going for. I don't know. Anything, to be honest.
Well, I think the one that comes to mind right now is that we're starting a diaspora tour.
Okay.
Had a lot of African moms in the diaspora that have accessed our products and our services. And so we're starting a diaspora tour. Our first stop is in the UK. Our moms in the UK, if you're in the UK, please be on the lookout for that. Moms in Canada rather, we are coming. Moms in Germany, we are coming. Moms in Ghana, and a few other countries on the list. And so I think it's the first time we're mentioning it publicly.
Nice. So we got the exclusive gist. Great.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, Kemi. I mean, even though we had like so many reschedules, it's finally nice to have you on the show. All right, then.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Please enjoy the rest.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing more updates from you and Babymigo as time goes. All right, guys. So
Take care of
until next one, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.